Namaste Akka.
Namaste Vedarara.
It's been a long time since we resumed Varna Talkies.
Yes.
Are you ready for more?
Yes, I am.
The first question is, as children, what Itihasic scriptures do you think we should definitely
100% Ramayana and Mahabharata, but not the, you can begin with a brief version, but at least once you should read the full version. Like I always say, ideally in a vernacular language, Telugu, Tamil, Sanskrit, whatever you're comfortable with. Or go for, if you want to read in English, go for a very authentic Indian translation. But yeah, the question is, what should you read? Definitely not just students of art. Everybody should read the Mahabharata and the Ramayana thoroughly.
Yes. Any more after reading?
Of course, you should be able to read the great poems, maybe the works of Kalidasa. Everything is a lesson for a dancer or for any artist for that matter. There is no piece of knowledge that is of no use. So if you can read Kalidasa, if you can read Kamban, if you can read the Tirukkural, everything, or even smaller things like even something as small as Vemananiti Padyalu also will give you something interesting as an artist.
Yes. The next question, Akka. What are the 3 books that you think every dancer should have in their bookshelf?
Practical reasons, definitely the Natya Shastra, the Abhinaya Darpana, these basic dance related works. Of course, like I have told you earlier also, the scriptures, they are not dance related, but they are a must for everybody. But dance related books, I would say for sure the Natya Shastra and Abhinaya Darpana. If you're more interested and at a more advanced level, there are many other books like the works of Sharangadeva and all. But for sure, yeah, these 2.
Yes. Speaking of books, Akka, if you ever want to write an autobiography or if someone writes a biography about you, what do you think the title would be?
Firstly, I don't envisage myself writing an autobiography ever. But if someone writes a biography of mine, firstly I would request them to not do so, because I genuinely believe that there are so many more actual greats whose lives we should read about and get inspired by. Having said that, if really a book were to be written about me, something like Vidya Dadati Vinayam maybe, because I honestly believe that Vidya or knowledge without Vinayam is futile. So that is something that I really try to live by also. So maybe, yeah, Vidya Dadati Vinayam maybe.
The next question, Akka, reeling away from books. When do we call oneself a student of a guru? Because if it is from day one, why can't we call oneself someone's student if you visit a workshop or something?
That's an interesting question. You are the Sishya of a guru from day one, that is true. Having said that, so your natural doubt would be, then if I go and attend a workshop and learn an item, why am I not called the Sishya of that guru? That's because the intention. So when you go and learn at a workshop, the intention is not to do Sishyarikam, as they say. The intention is not to be, the intention is not to become the Sishya of that guru. You go with the clear idea that you're just going there just to learn one item, and that's that. So that's definitely not a guru-Sishya relationship. Which brings you to the next point, that you become the Sishya of a guru from day one. That's true, because the intention is the long run. If something happens and you're not able to continue, that's a different story. But when you go to a guru and you go and learn literally at the feet of that guru, the intention is to be that guru's Sishya for a long time. A guru-Sishya relationship is one for life. So that's why workshops, you don't get to call yourself a student, which is why I would also say that if anyone is attending the workshop of a senior artist, hoping to call themselves a Sishya of that guru, please don't do that. It's not fair to either. Right?
Yes. Another question, Akka. You have given numerous performances in both dance and music. What do you deem is your most memorable performance in both dance and music?
Memorable is a broad-based term, so there would be memorable in a funny way, and there would be memorable in a way that you said, okay, some Vidwans attended or some seniors attended and they had a kind word. So by the grace of God, I've had a mix of both. So in terms of memorable, in terms of senior people attending, there have been a couple of concerts which I did when I was quite young, where the senior critic, Subbudu Garu, he was like, back in the day, people would really be scared if he showed up at your concert. But thankfully, I was young, I had no clue. So he came to my concert, and then after he left, my gurus and others said, he was at the concert. And then thankfully, he liked my dance. The next day, he gave me a very good review. So there have been those instances where I had some real senior dancers. There was this one time where Dhananjayan sir, his student was performing after me, I guess. So he came when I was dancing. I didn't invite him, and I don't know him personally, but it was so sweet of him that after my performance, his students was yet to start, but he actually saw me and he gave me a few suggestions, but he also complimented the dance. Those are memorable. Memorable in a funny way or in a way that makes you smile now. It was not funny when it happened. There are a handful of those too. So there was this time when I was performing in a small village. It was a 2-day concert some 12, 13 years ago. There was one day it was a dance performance and the other day was a vocal recital. It was a small village, so the concert started late at night. It was Navaratri time, so the concert started at 8:30 or 8:45 and went on for some 3 hours. And in the middle of the concert, I was singing a long composition, and the place in which the concert was happening was right next to the paddy fields or something. So it was about 9:30, I was in the middle of a long composition, and suddenly I just looked straight and right in front of me on the stage were a couple of Varaha Murtis. Peoples. I had no clue what to do because I was in the middle of the Kriti, I couldn't stop, and I was so scared because it was not one, only multiple of them. I have no idea how they came and they were looking like this. That's one concert I'll never forget. Ilanti chala jarigi, but yeah, this is one thing that came to mind.
I think they were also enchanted by the music.
I would have been a little less scared if they were enchanted at a distance. They were like 2 feet away from me. It was super scary.
The final question, Akka. If you could ask any sage or maharshi a question regarding life or dance or music, what would it be?
Not regarding dance or music, but regarding life in general, or him, would be Vedavyasa, Krishna Dvaipa. And I really want to ask him, how was it possible for him to document, not imagine, but document such complex plots, the stories, the values. So when you read the Bharatam, for example, at every juncture you're like, oh my God, there is so much, there's a plot, and there are so many characters, each one has a story, backstory, there's a reason why he or she acts a certain way, and Vedavyasa is part of the story himself.
True.
Oh my gosh, his brain would be like 250 computers, I guess, in there. So I would definitely want to ask him how he managed to be such a genius.
It is truly the most complicated story of mankind. So I think that ends this Varna Talkies session, Akka.
So for class now?
Yes, Akka. After class I have a few more questions, actually way more questions, but I think they should be reserved for other episodes.
Okay.
Yes. Namaste.
Namaste.